There's no circumstance ever where it's okay to watch pornography. I see a lot of people argue about, it's okay as long as it's consensual, as long as no one's hurting each other. But I'm going to tell you as a 20-year addict why there's no instance ever where it's okay to watch it. Okay, a lot of people say, oh, well, I know a couple that watches it together and they've been together for a long time, but it's funny because nobody ever says, oh, two drug addicts are using drugs themselves, like they must be fine. If they're drug addicts, like does it seem like they're okay? Now, it's kind of like an extreme case, but let me tell you something right now. In the same way that drugs create a dependency, pornography teaches you to depend on instant gratification. Teaches you to love instant gratification. So, let me explain something to you really quickly because I get a lot of people that say, "Oh, like it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Like it's just expressing yourself and all that other stuff." I get it. I used to be the type to argue like that. If it's just for yourself, you don't think it's a problem, what's the big issue? But here's the thing. Pornography gives you the ability to choose any partner, any thumbnail, any video, anything that you want with one simple click. You didn't earn anything out of that. You didn't chase anything. You didn't earn the ability to have that intimate moment. And it is an intimate moment. You're just having it with yourself or if you're watching with your partner, you didn't earn that. Okay? When we were back then, our ancestors had to travel far and wide to mate with somebody, right? And so the problem with that is today we have so many opportunities to have virtual partners and we have way more opportunities to do that. So that teaches us to have that instant gratification. And when you rely on that, that actually alters your brain for other areas of life. You might be down on yourself, like, why am I not where I want to be in life? Or why am I not in shape? Like, I went to the gym today. Like, why am I not in shape? Or I've been saving for all these years. How come I don't have a house yet? You know, the dependency on porn, whether you use it to go to sleep or whether you use it to feel better, to boost your mood, like alleviate some depression, and just like perk yourself up a little bit. Whatever the case, it's teaching you to love instant gratification. And the people who are the most accomplished, the people who have the most success in the world, even people who just have moderate success, whether that's financially or health wise or with or really close relationships with their family, all of them have to degree built up some level of of delayed gratification. That's something that I had to practice as a 20-year addict. I had to practice delayed gratification in order for me to understand, oh shit, to pornography was actually teaching me to want it like right now and get it now. To the point where, well, this isn't talked about too much, to the point where it altered my reality testing. What is that? See, I think a lot of people suffer from altered reality testing because it's rarely talked about, but it's the scientific it's talked a lot about in psychology. But reality testing is the ability for you to perceive what is real and what is not real in the world. So for a lot of people who and like it's just like basically like being delusional. But reality testing is a little bit different from delusion, but just think of it along the lines of delusion. But reality testing is the ability for your brain to be able to distinguish what's real and what's not. And porn alters that. And I was a victim of this too. Like I get a lot of people I see on social media or talk to me or whatever that say, "Oh, well, like I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it as long as it's consensual, blah blah blah." But the evidence is right there that 92% of all marriages that have open relationships that involve pornography and things like that, 92% of them fail. 54% of all marriages in this country cite pornography as one of the main reasons why the marriage failed. With finances being one of the primary ones. But we're talking about pornography. 54%. That's a lot. So I had to practice delayed gratification. And once I got good at delayed gratification, it all became clear. It all became clear that, oh my gosh, like I'm not hitting the goals that I want because A, porn is causing me to not even try, but it's also forcing me to want the reward fast because I'm used to just clicking and watching. So, hey, let me teach you a little bit about delayed gratification. I'll teach you exactly how I did it. Because delayed gratification is one of the most underrated superpowers that you can build. So, delayed gratification is the opposite of instant, right? It's the ability to resist the easy win now for the bigger win later. So this is not the same as like having willpower. Don't get that part confused. This is not what this is about. Okay, this is about rewiring your brain's reward system so that actual real growth feels better than instant relief. Okay? So when you give into instant gratification, what are some things that are happening? Like when you give into watching porn, or it doesn't even have to be watching porn. It could be things like overeating, which, by the way, the instant gratification that you get with porn can translate into instant gratification by overeating or doom scrolling. You're getting that quick dopamine hit followed by an immediate crash. But when you delay gratification, your brain starts to hold on to the four important chemicals that are a part of your brain: dopamine, norepinephrine, endorphins, and adrenaline. We'll talk about those another day. But you train your brain to release those at the moment of achievement, not when you're trying to escape and watch porn. So, what delayed gratification trains your brain to do is that it's going to strengthen a part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex. It's like the CEO of your brain that is responsible for you making good decisions in life. Okay, it's partly responsible for, or a lot responsible for, self-control, future planning, and things like that. It reconditions your dopamine to spike when you're taking action, not when you just want to get that cheap reward by watching porn. Okay, so I teach four different ways in the course on how you can practice delayed gratification. That helped me, you know, live by the beach now, wake up every single day before the sunrise. I used to wake up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I used to be broke, like I said, living in my car, looking for parking lots to sleep in. Now I live here by the beach. Um, I was broke. Now I own my own two businesses. You know, there's four different ways to practice delayed gratification. I'm going to give you one of them. If you want to get into the course and learn all four of them, I'm going to put a link below. But let me teach you one of them. One way that you can practice delayed gratification is a little trick called mindful eating. What is mindful eating? When you're eating, you delay the process. Delay the process of eating. So slow down. Smell your food. Chew it slower. Pause in between bites. The goal for you is to increase your awareness and reduce your impulse. And another bonus to that is, like, don't eat distracted. So no phone, no TV, just your straight up attention on your food. So let's say let's say you're having a snack like some sunflower seeds. You put some sunflower seeds in your mouth, take one of those seeds, feel the texture of the seed, move it around to feel the texture of the seed, break it, maybe you got some salt that's still on the seed. Take the shell off with your mouth, obviously. And I just want and just like delay biting into the actual seed. Delay spitting out the shell, you know? Spend at least a good 2 minutes with just that one sunflower seed. And you're training your brain to delay the reward of actually getting to eat the sunflower seed. Or you could be having dinner. How could you break up your dinner into 30 different bites? Or if you're having a smaller meal, how could you break it up into 15 bites? Or maybe even more. Or just start with, maybe if you have like some chicken or something, cut it into a small piece, cut a small piece. Spend time chewing that. Chew it for a while. You need to delay the gratification of swallowing the food and getting the full flavor of it. You've got to delay that. That's one thing that I did. Now, there's 3 other ways to practice it. Now, remember, the more you practice it, the more you train your brain to get excited about the effort that you're putting in and not necessarily the reward. There's 3 other ways that you can practice this. When you're able to practice all 4 of these in a day and you do that day in, day out, the results will shock you because now you're winning, you're getting wins, you're getting that dopamine on your own terms. Okay? So when you can get that on your own terms, then you prep yourself for other things in life. Like if you want to start your own business and start making more money, or if you want to get in better shape, or if you want to fix your relationship with your partner, or if you want to start waking up earlier, or if you want to travel more, or if you want to do, I travel 3 times a month. And sometimes if I want to practice delayed gratification, I'll say, I'm so excited to head out on Tuesday, but I might wait another day. I might wait an extra day. I might say, okay, I'll go out on Thursday. I'm delaying and it's a constant practice of delaying that gratification. So that's one of the tricks that I use to get out of my pornography addiction, my dependence on it, to boost my mood and increase my self-image, my self-worth, self-esteem. That's one of the things that I did. I got 3 other ones that you can learn in the course. I'm going to put a link below. Okay? You're not alone in this, and the hardest part about it is looking in the mirror and realizing that you have a little bit of a dependency on porn. And I gotta give it to anybody who can look in the mirror and say, I have a little bit of a dependence on porn, because you know what that means? That obsessive energy, I spent years studying this. Without getting too scientific on you, let me explain it to you in a practical, comprehensive way. The energy that you put into watching pornography, there is a raw, obsessive energy about it that's useful for you to, make yourself feel a little bit better or get some fake intimacy out of it. It's a raw energy that you actually can pull away from porn. And remember, what does Julius Meyer say about the law of conservation of energy? Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred or redistributed. So you can literally pull that energy out of porn. And I'm not talking about like chi or chakras and nothing like that. Like this isn't about like energy related stuff. Okay. I'm just using the word energy, but you can also replace it with like effort, obsessiveness, whatever. There's a way to pull that. You could trick a part of your brain to pull that out and redirect it into stuff that you actually want in life. For me, I wanted to wake up earlier. How did a guy who was waking up at 2 p.m. every single day addicted to pornography wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, hasn't relapsed in years, started a business, who used to live in his car, lives by the beach now? Tell me how a guy was able to do that, was able to do all of that in under 2 years. How? It's because I was able to pull that energy, that obsessiveness out of my addiction, my dependency on it, and I just simply redirected it and just became a full it just became like a full fucking force in getting all of those things that I wanted. I teach you how to do that in the course. I highly recommend you get into the course. It's called the Porn Addiction Redirect Program, where I teach you the trick on how to pull that out of watching porn and direct it into stuff that's more beneficial for your life. Okay? So, look, again, like I said, my hat goes off to anybody that can look at themselves in the mirror and say like, it's probably not a healthy thing for me. If you can do that, if you can just look in the mirror and do that and not defend it like there's nothing wrong with it. Oh, it's perfectly fine. Like, no, 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 like it's okay. My partner and I, we watch it together. Like anybody who's willing to look in the mirror and say, it's probably not the most healthy thing for me. I guarantee you have that ability to pull and put it in the stuff that you want. You want a better body. You want to make more money. You want to travel more. You want to fix your relationship with your partner because it's not good. You want to redeem yourself because you cheated. You want to feel better about how you look at yourself in the mirror. You pick. You pick. That's what I teach in the course. How to get that thing that you want in life. Now, it's not easy because you're going to have to put in some work, but not a whole lot. Okay? So that's my take on pornography and why there's no case whatsoever where it's okay to watch it. ever, ever, because it teaches you to love instant gratification. Okay? So whether you're 12 years old or you're 92 years old, the brain, the most malleable part of the brain, which means like the most moldable part, is your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that's responsible for making decisions. It's like the CEO of your brain. Okay? And that's the part that we focus on in strengthening so that you can make the right decisions and stop watching porn and do something amazing with your life. Okay, I'll put a link below so you can click that and see what the course is about. So you go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and go down to those tide pools over there and see if we can find a starfish or something. Because I would much rather do this. I'd much rather live here and go here every single day. I go to the beach every single day. I'd much rather do this than be broke, living in my car, addicted to pornography, living an alternative lifestyle that almost got me killed twice. I'd much rather do this all dang day than the life that I was living. So check out the course. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you soon.